Right now at 4:30, crews are battling a brush fire in Dorado County. This is east of Shingle Springs. We're showing you video here of the smoke and flames from an alert California camera. We have been watching this very closely for you. It's being called the Bonanza Fire. Now, we just got those updated numbers right here into our newsroom. It has now burned about 40 to 45 acres there. We want to show you a map of the evacuation order because there are evacuation orders in place right now for those living in this area. This is Jubilee Drive and Lumbo Road. Again, if you live in that area, you should be packing up your things and getting out as safely as you can. A shelter is being set up right now at the Placerville Library. So again, if you live in this area, it's time to go. We got a map showing where the fire is burning. A little closer look. It's Bonanza Auto Road. CAL FIRE says multiple vehicles are burning. So this is still in a very remote area, but there are homes and businesses nearby. So that's why they're right now working to get this fire out as quickly as they can. CAL FIRE says not only are ground crews there doing what they can, but they've got those air resources in the air fighting this fire. Your reporter Madison Keevy, she's live there at the scene. Madison, you're getting us the very latest on this fire right now. What are you learning from officials?
Okay, so I am at Bonanza Auto Dismantlers. I am surrounded by cars here as well as fire crews. In fact, one of those engines that's here on scene is moving through. This is from Diamond Springs and El Dorado. This is some of the nearly a dozen engines that are on the ground fighting this as well as in the sky. And that's what I want to show you. So you see we're at the auto dismantlers. We are surrounded by cars. Right now, this area is not being threatened by this fire, we're told. But right above me, you can see where this fire is burning and what's causing some of these challenges. That big plume of smoke here. We have been watching every few minutes pretty quickly here. CAL FIRE making drops on this. On the other side of those trees, there's a ridge, and here's where the challenge sets in. Winds are normal for this, but they are fueling this fire, and you can see here coming right overhead one of those massive CAL FIRE tankers that's making drops very quickly on this to stop that spread. And you can see exactly where it's going, right over that ridge. Now, the key here is this aerial fight because this area and the terrain is so remote and it is so challenging for hand crews to get into some of these other areas that are just difficult to get to because, again, that's over a ridge. This fire is also spreading in two different directions, east and south. So as you kind of hear above me, there's different tankers going different directions to stop this fire from all sides. I also want to talk about those evacuation orders. They've put them in, they say, a little bit early, just simply because, again, of how remote many of these homes, where they're located are. So it's going to take a little bit of time for people to get out. And the biggest thing that we're hearing, as we always do on these types of fires, is if you don't have to be in this area, don't come. Even driving up here to get to where we're at, again, at Bonanza Auto Dismantlers, there were a number of cars pulled over on these smaller two-lane roads with people getting out, taking photos and videos. And that's something, of course, that CAL FIRE says just don't do because they actually were getting in the way and impeding some of these fire crews getting in here to this remote area. If you go through the back here, it's actually giving access for crews to get onto that ridge and fight this fire, of course, with the help of those massive water drops, Hunter.
And we know just how important those water drops are, especially this early on. We just got an update, Madison. 63 acres have now burned. Talk to me about those cars that are on fire. You said it's not coming from that dismantler's business that you're at right now, but there are reports of cars being on fire, just not where you're located, correct?
Yeah, CAL FIRE has confirmed that with me, that there are cars on fire. It is not clear the relationship between those burning cars and the start of this fire, of course. I want to put that out there because I know if you're watching at home, that might be your first thought. It was my first thought when we pulled up. And again, I'll have Dave McCain here, my photojournalist, with me. Pan, you can see just the number of cars in this area. And here comes in another drop. I want to get that so you can see how close this area is to where that fire is burning. But again, we have not been told that those cars on fire are here at the business. And when I asked if this business was being threatened, Hunter, they said that not at this time.
All right. And Madison, I just want to reiterate something really important that you said here. While this is still a rural area, for those that do live anywhere nearby, it may be tempting to want to go and start taking photos or videos. But you said those two-lane roads right now are a thoroughfare for first responders to be able to get in, those ground crews, and start fighting this fire. So just talk about how important right now it is that everybody heeds those warnings and what CAL FIRE told you when you spoke to them, just before you came on the air here getting those updates.
Yeah, I mean, this is as fresh of an update as we can give. So coming up, especially, again, you can see where this is kind of a pseudo staging area a little bit here as they've moved in, because, again, it's the closest location that these hand crews and engines can get to that ridge and get down on the ground to start fighting these. So the way that this business is set up is they have a lot of the cars that are, again, a part of Bonanza Auto Dismantlers that are actually lined up the road that brings you to where I'm standing, which already makes it narrow. One car up, one car down. If there's a car coming towards you, or in this case, if there's a fire engine coming towards you, you've got to pull out of the way, which we did. But coming up, fire engines were actually delayed because people had pulled over in what's already a narrow road to get out and take photos and videos here. And that's what they're saying not to do because of how remote these areas are. They need all of the space they can get to get those engines in so that they can fight this, not just from these, again, massive water drops. You see a CAL FIRE helicopter coming in there, but also with those crews on the ground.